Hey guys, this is Frank1The1Tank for Lego Poker. This is my second video. This time I decided to do a hand history replayer from a 30 rebuy that I won a couple weeks ago. I sort of don't like the hand history replayers in that when I'm actually playing a live session, I can, discuss the hands a lot easier because I'm in the heat of the moment. Whereas, if you just look back at a hand history replayer, you're not really gonna remember quite as clearly, dynamics or just little specific things that you might pick up on when you're actually playing. But I figure I give this a shot. I think it'll still be a good video, and I remember a lot of interesting hands came up. One thing I need to point out is that the internet that I was using when I made this was just terrible. We were having huge issues. I'm not sure what the deal was, but basically some hands might be like distorted, or it might randomly cut to a hand where the stack size and the position of the table is much different than it was before. I'm not really sure how bad it'll be there, but I think this is still definitely a very good hand history to use for a video. So basically, I'm just gonna play every single hand. If I don't play the hand, I'm gonna show you that I folded essentially, and then just move to the next hand and keep going until we find an interesting spot. And any hands that I do fold, if I feel like it's a close fold or something, I'll talk about it, and that way, I can give you guys as much detail as possible. So to start, golden rules 4X is it here. With king queen off, it's just too weak of a hand to go all in with. I should point out, I can't believe I forgot this. This is the 30 rebuy. This is the final 3 tables of it. So we are in the money, and I'm just starting it right from when the very first hand of three tables started. So king queen off here. I think it's too weak of a hand to do anything but fold when he just 4X's like that. I don't really think it's close. I would get in hand. I'd probably get in ace jack plus, and then maybe eights plus, something like that. I'm not really sure how he was playing at the time, but I don't think he certainly can't do this light, and I don't think his range should be too wide for doing this. But anyway, yeah, with king queen, I just fold. Easy fold, queen 4. King 6. There's a raise, and king 6 is definitely too weak. All in front of us, we're folding 6-9. I'm just folding 3-5 here. Folding 9-7 here. Folding 3-7, folding queen 5. Folding queen 4. Doesn't really matter what happens here. The only thing that could be interesting is if the small blind limped, but I don't think he would. So folding. Here, if it folds around us, I plan to fold. It doesn't though, so easy fold. 7-2. I'm folding no matter what. Ace 3. There's a raise before us. Ace 3 is too weak to shove for sure. If it folded to us, though, it would be a pretty easy all in there. Yeah, Ace 3 is pretty strong. I'm shoving really wide there, and I'm not sure what my specific range would be. I guess it starts at the very bottom of my range. Is probably something like I don't know. I guess I'm shoving like 9-6 suited and better, and I would shove like 8-7 suited, 7-6 suited, 6-5 suited, 8-6 suited, stuff like that, and then I'd shove any ace for sure, and basically any hand's better than that, and all pairs obviously. Yeah, so it just skipped through a few minutes of hands essentially, and I now have 80K. Unfortunately, I don't remember what happened to get me up to 80K, but um, yeah, there's not much I can say about that. I just have 80,000 now. 4-5 suited. Raised before us, and I just fold. I don't think it's a good spot to 3-bet shove for play or anything. He's 2 off. I'll just fold. I don't know. I tend not to open too light in a spot like that where a hand just plays so poorly post flop that it's just I just don't think it would be profitable. Basically, like we could get flatted sometimes. I suppose Devil Truck could flat us sometimes with a few hands, and Golden Rules could go all in, and then we would just have to fold. Ace 2 off's too weak. And Vengo, I don't know anything about him, but I don't recognize the screen name, and when there's just randoms deep in tournaments, they'll just do weird stuff like flat you or just all sorts of stuff. I think Ace 2 in a spot like that is just an easy fold. I just don't really want to get too carried away with it. Oh, we have aces. So I just min raise, and hopefully someone just shoves on me, but they don't. As you guys know from my last video, I pretty much min raise like almost 100% of the time, depending on if the only way I wouldn't min raise in any particular spot is if we were a lot deeper. Like if this were just a really awesome structured tournament where all the stacks of the tables were like 50 big blinds or something, and it was just an awesome structure, then I would just probably raise anywhere from 2.2 to 2.5x. It really just depends based on the size of everyone's stack and all that stuff, and where you are at the table, like what position you're in at any given hand. But yeah, I just min raise with that. Jack 2, I fold. 5-8, I fold. 5-8 again. I'm just folding if it folds around. Jack 7 off here. If it folds around, I would probably min raise if it just folded around and then just fold to any further action essentially. I don't think I'll get flatted almost ever. I shouldn't get flatted almost ever, but yeah, I think I could just min raise, and I don't think they're going to play back at me too light. I think that they'll just fold a lot of times this deep in a tournament, or I don't know. I just like to be putting pressure on the blinds essentially, and I think this is an okay hand to just raise fold. It really doesn't matter what my hand is essentially if my play is just to be raised and then someone's going to just go all in. It's either I'm raise calling with my hand or raise folding with my hand, and I don't mind raise folding sometimes to try and pick up some chips. Queens. Folds around, and I min raise. It's worth noting that it looks like we're in the final 2 tables now, but this guy, KB Kings, he wasn't dealt in this hand, so it's still 8-handed. Obviously, we snap call. We're super happy about it, and we hold. Nines. If it folds. Well, here with nines, it's a pretty interesting spot. Basically, I don't want to have to 3-bet call. I don't think that I can induce like too light of a shove when he just opens under the gun here. It's kind of an annoying spot. Like, I'm not too thrilled about flatting, just because, for example, if Vengo goes all in, Healy could also go all in really light, and I'm not a huge fan of calling off there, just because I don't think that I'm doing too well against his reshoving range. Like, he's not going to reshove the bottom of it, and yeah, it's a really tricky spot. I don't mind flatting though. I think he's going to mostly play fairly fit or fold post flop. I think my hand looks stronger than it could look stronger than it actually is. I know a lot of people will just like flat aces, kings, queens in spots like these. It's also worth noting that I wouldn't flat too light here. Like, I'm not just flatting random terrible hands regardless, and I'm sure Healy 87 is aware of this. So I think that post flop we just won't get ourselves into too much trouble with this hand. And I think our hand's just a little. It's basically too weak to 3-bet, get it in, and too strong to just fold. So this is why I just end up flatting. Oh, if Fengo or Devil Truck were to go all in and Healy were to fold, I would call both of them as well. And if either of these guys like 3-bet squeeze, then I would just fold. So pretty safe flop for us. I really would never do anything else here but call at least one bet and then just kind of figure out what he has on the turn. And most likely what I would do is call and then just check behind most turns if he checks and just make a decision on the river. But yeah, I just call always here and don't really do anything else. Turn goes check, check. I could bet the turn, actually. I don't know. I think it's kind of close. From what I remember from Healy 87 was he's a pretty aggressive player. He could check shove a lot, and I don't necessarily want to bet call because he could just have a hand like 10x plus or jacks plus, and just some other weird hand, like maybe he just has a set or something, where he's just planning to do exactly that for me to just bet turn so he can just go all in. So I don't know. Versus some players I would bet, versus some players I would check, and I would just do different things versus both the players regardless. In this situation, I just decided to check though. I think that's fine. River is terrible, but he checks, and he has King 10, and we lose. So I guess I'm happy I didn't bet the turn there. I think he was probably planning to go for the check shove. He could just check all. He could have just been worried that I had a pretty big hand. But anyway, I'm fine with the way I played that. Thanks, guys.